Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Lucious Showcase. I am Lucious T, and welcome back to the backlog. This week we're taking a look at the first indie game on the schedule, which comes from a developer that has quite the track record. In fact, it's a little surprising that this particular game has kind of flown under the radar for a lot of people. Now, I'm sure you already know what it is. It is the title, so let's check it out. I don't think I can overstate what a huge effect Supergiant Games has had on my gaming life. Now, when I broke free of my WoW addiction back in 2008, I kind of lambasted in multiplayer online first-person shooter purgatory that all mid-20-somethings do. You know, Call of Duty, Halo. I hadn't played a solid action-adventure, you know, kind of top-down Zelda-style game in forever. And lo and behold, this little game called Bastion comes along that not only teaches me that a download game could be awesome, but also an indie game could be great, which at this time, I didn't even know what indie games were when I picked this up in the, I believe, summer of 2011. Hell, one of the biggest selling points for me to get a PS4 over the Xbox One was the fact that Transistor was console exclusive for that system. You know, you could have got it on Steam, too. So once their new game, Pyre, was announced to be a pseudo-sports game with RPG adventure-style elements, I thought it was a misstep. I trusted them implicitly, but once the reviews came out and the game was kind of, I wouldn't say mediocre, but just not as stellar as the previous two, I kind of sat on the game for a while. Until now. Pyre starts you off like all Supergiant games, in the middle of an unknown world with no backstory, and you're just thrust into it.
I would tell you to turn back.
Now, unlike the other two games, the action is much different. This is not an action RPG. It's an action RPG minigame tucked into a thought-provoking, choose-your-own-adventure-style adventure game. Now, you join the mysterious party of Jovi, Hedwyn, and Rudy. Now, Jovi's a demon, Hedwyn's a human, and Rudy's a dog.
And that is the cutest puppy ever.
Turns out, you're literate, which is forbidden in this world, and you can read the ancient tome of the 8 scribes and lead your forces into battle. The battle in this game is known as the Sacred Rites under the stars, where your team of 3 takes on an opposing team of 3, and you each douse each other's holy fire with the mystical orb. Now, the orb can be flung, dropped, and passed. Once you grab the orb, your sacred protection vanishes, and you can be easily banished for a time. Now, depending on your class, your aura, aka banishment radius, will behave differently. Now, your pyre damage will also vary depending on your class, and also if you throw it or jump in it. Now, those who jump in the pyre are permanently banished until the next score. So you can be down 2 versus 3, and vice versa. Now, only one unit can move at a time. This is true of your opponent as well, leading to several nuanced battles, and all in all, a very interesting and fun battle system. You can jump over each other's auras, and some characters can fly, and various other special unique abilities. Now, once someone's fire is extinguished, they lose, and experience is doled out. And your journey continues. Win or lose, the game continues, though the 2 times I lost, I save scummed, aka restarted, because I'm anal like that. Now, sadly, Supergiant Games went to the well too often this time. How many times can we be some memoryless person who has no idea what's going on and have the world slowly reveal itself, or not reveal itself? Now, in a nutshell, the world of Pyre is where the criminals are exiled to a place called the Downside from the place known as the Commonwealth. Now, this exiled land is home to several different triumvirates that are all trying to escape. The triumvirate is the different team names for the different people that compete in the rites. Now, in order to escape, they must face the Nightwings and see where they stack up. Whoever proves the most worthy is then chosen for a liberation battle where they face off against the Nightwings, and whoever wins gets to choose one person to send back from exile in glory. Now, your group is the Nightwings, and you need to travel the whole breadth of the Downside, facing every triumvirate in order to learn what the hell is going on. Now, sadly, the pairing of action RPG minigame with the adventure story makes the first liberation pass incredibly long and a little stale at times. The game has to set up so much backstory and lore and sets of characters that it's all a little much at times. Now, your merry band of 3 soon swells its ranks as you progress.
Your triumvirate now numbers 4 exiles, not the expected 3. The rules of the rites were not created for you to besmirch.
And each character has their own unique style and skill tree. And the game forces you to get familiar with each. How, you ask? Well, some battles require certain units, while some other require certain units not to participate. You can also have units suffer exhaustion from participating too much and need to sit out the next rite. But the main reason, and what the ultimate hook of the game is the liberation. Now, the whole point of your journey is to rescue your crew and send them back to the Commonwealth. In order to do that, you need to use them in the rites and level them up. Now, once they achieve a certain level, one can be anointed in the Liberation Rite. Now, if you win that Liberation Rite, that character leaves your party permanently, having redeemed themselves in the eyes of the 8 scribes, and returns home. So suddenly, for the remainder of the game, which thankfully shortens the amount of rites needed between liberations and also the downtime, but you need to deal with losing team members who you play with the most, because you can only anoint ones that have a certain amount of experience. Now, the more people who escape to freedom, the better chance of true peace is increased because of the plan, which I won't get into. However, the exiles you face all want to go home too. So this damn game makes you think. Can you survive the rites without your best player? Will someone new emerge that you hadn't realized? Should you show mercy and allow the other team to win and escape this hellhole as well? I truly did have to agonize over decisions and stick to my merciless, my team wins at all costs attitude, which may or may not have been the right thing to do. Time for some Lucious metrics. Serious fatigue. Went to the well too often. While this in no way connects to Transistor or Bastion, it reuses a lot of the same tropes and thematic choices from the other games. Mysterious world, singing, a sardonic narrator. While the game itself is very innovative in its presentation and gameplay, the whole is bogged down with this repetitive style, and because of the slow nature of the game, really exacerbates it more. Time sensitivity. Know what you're getting into. Now, you can play this whenever, as it is an offline single-player game. More important is realize what you're getting into. The action is far and few between at the offset, while the world building is dense. Had I known what I was getting into upon starting the game, it may not have felt like such a drag at times. Controls. Solid. The game handles well in the adventure segments because kinda hard to mess that up. Menus are easy to read and navigate through, as are dialogue sections and overmap traversal. Combat is fluid and fast-paced, though it does suffer from lag spikes at times. Replay. Infectious. Much like a rare disease that's hard to catch and slow to incubate, once it spreads, you're done. I could easily see myself playing through this a few more times on harder difficulties and seeing how different the story can be. Storytelling. Hooked you again. It's tried and true and redundant to what they have done in the past, but damn, much like a dumb fish do they hook you again with a thoroughly dense world and mythos that's both compelling and satisfying. So much so that it's likely Supergiant's best work to date. Now, the whole game changes based on what you do, who you face, and who you free. Now, it may be slow to start, but for those willing to put in some time, you will find an addicting, thought-provoking experience that only Supergiant can deliver. However, given its flaws, the game is certainly not for everybody. Taking all that into account from the perspective of a binge-playing game finisher, I give this my Lucious T recommendation of backlog it. And there you have it. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this game. Let me know if you've ever played Bastion, Transistor, or Pyre. Like I say, it's a very good game. If you don't have enough time right now, though, there's no reason to get to it, and it's not going to really change the experience much if you wait, given that there's so many other better games out there to play right now. So, it's been so nice getting a hold of you. Take care.
Happy Fair tonight. A dinger, dinger, dinger.